Hi, I'm certainly glad you could join me today because it's a fantastic day here, and I hope it is wherever you're at. Tell you what, let's just do a beautiful little painting today. Every day's sort of crazy around here, so I thought today we'd start with something a little different. So tell you what, let's have them run all the colors across the screen that you need to paint along with us. While they're doing that, let me tell you what I've already done up here. I've taken a piece of contact paper and put it on my standard old 18 by 24 inch canvas here. And I've cut two ovals out of it. And then I've coated the inside of these two ovals with a mixture of liquid white and liquid black. So I guess you'd call it liquid gray. And we just put a nice thin even coat and it's all ready to go. The rest of this is just decoration because it's getting a little crazy here. So I thought we'd have some fun today. Let's take a little bit of the midnight black. We'll use the old 2-inch brush. Midnight black, a little of the we'll use some dark sienna. Reach over here, I'll get a little alizarin crimson. Just mix them together, like so. Black, dark sienna, little alizarin crimson. Very dark color though. Very dark color. All right, maybe today we'll do a scene that's deep in the woods here. I don't know, let's just start off and have some fun. Let's just take and begin putting in the indication of all kinds of little shapes. And we'll just start off tapping in some very basic little shapes and sort of see what happens. Just see what happens. Now I made this gray mixture today because I want this to be very subdued. And this gray will mix with everything that we put on there and it'll cause that to happen automatically. And if there's any of this gray showing through, then it'll look just right. There. Just begin laying in all kinds of little shapes. And right now, all we're looking for is just some basic ideas. We're not looking for a lot of detail. We'll come back and look at what we have, and then we'll begin picking out each individual little thing. Right now, all we're doing basically is blocking in some ideas. So, we have the midnight black, dark sienna, a little alizarin crimson, maybe right here. What the heck? We'll have some here too. Just let these things run right on through. There. Now when you're playing at home, try this liquid gray, as I call it. It'll make some beautiful effects for you. Mix these mediums together. We have the clear, the black, and the white. Mix them together. You won't believe some of the effects. Personally, I like to take a little of the liquid white and clear and put it together. And it gives the white gives it a little bit of transparency. Sometimes that comes in very handy for creating certain effects and certain illusions. There we go. Okay, a little bit more of the black and the crimson. There. But see, you can begin finding little shapes in here, and all we're using is just the corner of the 2-inch brush. But these little shapes they'll just sort of begin to appear. It's real easy. It's one of the nicest ways to sort of just lay out a little painting. There. Okay, now let's take our liner brush. We'll dip it into some paint thinner and we'll go right into some of the brown. A little Van Dyke brown's fine. Make this paint very thin. Turn it. Bring the bristles to a nice sharp point. See how sharp that is? A lot of paint in there. Now then, we can go up here and begin picking out little individual things. If you have trouble making the paint flow off your liner brush, then add more paint thinner. That's all you have to do. Keep the paint very thin, very loose, and then it'll just slide right off your brush. See, and we can just put the indication of all kinds of little things. In some of these light areas, these little holes here, there you just put the indication of a few little sticks and twigs that are showing through. There. See, maybe right in here. We don't know. We'll separate all this with highlights. We're going to come back and put all kinds of little highlights. Right now, all we're interested in is just creating the illusion of a lot of little things happening in here. Okay, let's do that also over here on the other side. We need something going on over here too. There. Maybe there's a tree there too. We don't know. Wherever. There. See, maybe back in here. All kinds of little doers. There. Will you say there's one there? it goes, right on up. Just sort of let your imagination just take you astray here. There we go. Maybe right in here. But see, just by putting these little sticks in here, you begin making out little individual things, that easy. And it'll just happen for you automatically. Practice this a little bit and you'll be amazed at what you can do by just throwing some color on a canvas. All right, wash the old brush. And we just wipe it off on a paper towel. I just use the same old dirty brush since I have it going here. Let's take a little bit of the yellow, reach up here, grab a little black. We put that in there, that'll make a beautiful green color. There, tap it a little bit. That gets that little roll of paint right out on the edge of the bristles. Okay, now then, let's go up in here and begin picking up all these little individual things. Maybe back in here lives a happy tree. Right there. Just think about form and shape for this tree. And just begin dropping, there. See there? There he is. We knew he was there, didn't we? Yeah. And maybe add a little of the yellow ochre and Indian yellow. Maybe we back in there. Oh, there he is. There's another little rascal. Well, my little squirrel would love to live back in here. There's so many things happening. There. See, just sort of look at these things, though, and drop them in. And all we're doing is just using the corner of the brush. That's really all we have going here. Just the corner of the brush. But think about individuals. Let's add a little touch of the bright red here and there. There. Ooh, that's nice. I've probably painted 25,000, 30,000 paintings now, and I still get excited every time I see this work. It's fascinating. There we go. Are you beginning to see all these little things? Isn't that exciting that it happens that easy? Shoot. That's the joy of painting. That truly is the joy of painting. When you get to the point that you have no fear, let's go over the other oval over on the other side here. We don't want him left out. See there? There's another little tree, a little bush, a little Indian yellow maybe, and a little touch of the bright red. That little sparkler way back here. See, just by varying color and shape and form, you can create all kinds of things. All kinds of things. There. I like these little paintings. They make you feel good inside. And that's what life's all about. Makes you happy. There. See? But layer after layer. This layering effect is what causes it to have depth and distance and keeps it from being just a flat old piece of canvas. There's dimension in there just because of the layers. I'm going to dip the brush into the least little touch of liquid white. Just the least little touch. There. Okay. We can come back in here and drop in all kinds of little rascals. There's another one. There. But see how nice that gray works back in there for you? It's really a fantastic way to paint. Maybe I'll put another one right here. See, you just keep seeing things. You can just add more and more. There. Boy, I bet there's a mosquito or two that lives back in there. That's a beautiful place. But you know what? You know me. I think there ought to be, maybe, let's have, I see something happening right here. Let's take a little liquid white, a little bit of the titanium white. I'll be right back. Don't go away. A little touch of the phthalo blue. Little touch. Okay? We have a very light blue on there now. Let's go right up in here. Maybe in our world, look right here. Watch. Maybe there's a little bit of water just plays along and bloop, falls over. See there? Just let it bloop. Got to make that little noise. Maybe it just spills right along like that. Comes right out of there. Bloop. There it fell again. Son of a gun. Bloop. Look at that. See? Just bloop. And splash when it hits. Push upward to make that splashy effect. And we have a happy little stream. It's just running right out of there. That easy. Where is it going to go? Now we have to start making some big decisions here. Tell you what, let's just we'll grab a 1-inch brush here. I'm going to take a little touch of sap green. I'm just going to throw it right there. I want to reflect all these nice colors right into the water. Put a little sap green there. Maybe a little yellow ochre. Ooh, that's pretty. There. Maybe even a little touch of white right through there. And there. Little bright spot. Maybe back to some green. This is just sap green on a 1-inch brush. And pulling it straight down. Straight down. Just sort of let that blend together. Let's go over on the other side over here. Over in here, maybe we'll have a little more of that. Shoot, that looks so good. It looks good enough to eat. Little yellow ochre. One in there. Maybe a little more green. I don't know. But you can just put all kinds of beautiful colors right in here like this. Now then, let me get a clean 2-inch brush. And I want to grab that firmly and pull it down. Very firm. Grab it and pull down. Straight down. Like so. And then across. See that? Makes it looks like reflections in the water. There. Okay. Now then, let's go back to our little fan brush here. Maybe this water comes right on down here, bounces around, and just begins to play and have fun. Shoot, we don't know where it goes. Just make all kinds of beautiful effects. You know what we need? Let's have some little stones that live out here. For that, let me get out a little liquid white. And we'll put that right up here, like so. And I'm going to add a little bit of dark sienna to that, maybe even a little yellow ochre. Just make a very nice, warm, little light brown color. Okay. Now then, we'll take let's use the old filbert brush. We'll go right into little dark sienna and Van Dyke brown mixed together. Okay, now then, both sides of the brush. Now, right here, we'll take one side and go through this thin color that we made. See, it's brown on one side, light on the other. Now, maybe up in here, in our world, maybe there's just all kinds of little stones. Look at that. See them? Just all kinds of happy little stones live up in here. And you can make as many or as few as you want in your world. There's another one. They're just everywhere. They live right here in this brush. Maybe they come right over here. Just all kinds of them. All kinds of them. Maybe there's a big one here. Great old big one. Maybe. More paint. Maybe right here. Just sort of make up your mind where you think they should live and drop them in. There's some. But make them all different sizes. Some are big, some are small. They're like people. Then we'll grab the bottom of these and pull them down just a little bit, just the bottom, and then go lightly across. That'll create a little reflection in the water. Just a little reflection. There. See there? Now then, we'll take our fan brush, and it has liquid white mixed with titanium white with the least little touch of the phthalo blue in it. There. Okay, a lot of paint on the bristles. Now then, we'll come right in here with this color, and let's just begin to wrap a little water right around these rocks. That'll set them right down into the painting, brings everything together. See there? Now let's go over to the other side here. Maybe, here it comes, right on through. A Little water right there. In our world, maybe this water is coming along here and all of a sudden, boom, falls over again. See there? You can drop that water over as many times as you want. Maybe there's a stone lives right there. You can have as many little rocks and stuff, maybe. Maybe there's another one down here at the bottom of this little waterfall. It's up to you. Bring that water right there, and that pushes that stone right into it. Comes down, falls over, and we'll have a few little splashes down here where it hits. There. See? It's a nice way to make a very effective, beautiful little scene. There we go. Now then. That's a nice place to catch that little trout that lives in there. Now we can take our paint thinner, a little bit of the brown, thin it down very thin, and let's go back in here and put the indication here and there, a few more sticks and twigs and little things that are growing all out through here. There. These little details are what makes your painting so special. There we go. See? A few of them growing out between those rocks there. All right. Now, maybe down here in the foreground. Maybe there's some stuff over here. So for that, let's go back into our black, a little dark sienna, a little bit of the alizarin crimson. We'll just mix these on the brush. Tap a little bit of color right into the bristles. Tap firmly. All right. Let's go up in here, and let's decide where little things live over here. There they are. There's a happy bush. And he lives right there like so. Get a little more color. And he's got a little friend here. There. Okay, good. These are so much fun to make. And by putting some bushes here in the foreground, that pushes everything back. See how far back this all went? Push that little waterfall way back in there. There. Maybe a few little things right in here. And we can take our knife and just go in here and scratch in the indication of a stick and a twig. There. Now, we'll just use that same old brush. I'm lazy. It's got color all over it, but that's all right. We'll go right into the yellows here. And the, see, we got cad yellow, yellow ochre, a little Indian yellow. Here and there we're going to touch a little bright red. Just like so. Okay, now then, let's go up here and put some highlights on this old bush. There. There he is. Just use the corner of the brush, though, and make all these little individual things. Little individual things. A little for this one. There. Maybe we'll touch a little red right here. Ooh, that's nice. That's nice. Be careful with that red, though. Too much of it's distracting. And almost invariably, your eye will go to that red place. Almost can't help but look here. So don't get too much. It can get too distracting on you very rapidly. Maybe right here. There. Okay, we get a little sap green. A little black here. There we go. Over on this side. And we'll put a few little leaves and stuff out here. There he is. Just all kinds of little things. Now you can make these as bright as you want them, or you can make them subdued. Either way. I like them a little more subdued today. But maybe a week from now, we'd like to have them nice and bright again. It's up to you. And your mood changes continually. And when your mood changes, your painting will change. It's almost something you can't help. It just sort of happens. Now, I want to take my little liner brush here, and I'm going to take a little bit of paint that's almost white, very thin, and here and there, put in a few little little white trunks back here. You always have some of those in the woods, and they stand out very good against all this dark. They just sort of make it interesting. There. Just here and there. Okay, maybe a couple on the other side. And we can just have some fun. All right. I tell you what, let's do. I think we're to a point where we can take the contact paper off, and let's see what we have. So we just grab it, give a pull, and there we go. We have two very nice ovals. Now we can really get crazy. We'll go right back to our original color. I know I'm going to get a letter or two or 100 that say, I like that painting just the way it was, and you went and messed it up. But when you do yours, if this is where you want it to stop, then that's exactly the place to stop it. I want to just show you what you can do with it here, though. Let's go right out here into this area, and let's just let these bushes and stuff continue a little bit and see what happens. Just let them continue a little. Just sort of blend them right into the ones that you have, and there they go. Go back. Let me put just a touch of the liquid white on my brush. The liquid white is there only to thin the color. Only to thin it. And we'll take a little of our color. Ooh, that's nice. Tap the bristles. Tap them into the color. All right. Now then, let's put a few little highlights up in here. All kinds of little things that are happening. Just like so. There. You know, it's almost unreal to me. With the completion of this series, there will be over 230 Joy of Painting shows. Whew. It's a lot of shows. Almost unreal to me. And I hope you've had the opportunity to see them all if you want to. If you hadn't, give your station a call. They're donated to them free, so they can pick them up. Just let them know that you want them. Because if you don't let them know, they don't know what you like. And they like to hear from you. Tell you what, maybe down here there's a little bit of dirt. We'll take some Van Dyke brown. Let's go right in here. Just put a little brown in here. There. Something about like so. I don't know. Whatever you want. Let it go on out here. Take a little brown, a little white, mix it together. Make us a little highlight on the knife. Just barely touching. Just let it graze. Barely touch it. Barely touch it. Now then, we'll take a fan brush. Put a little bit of our yellows and greens and all those different colors on it. Let's go up in here and we'll just pop in just a few little happy grassy areas right along in here. Wherever you think they should be. There we go. See there? That creates a lot of depth in your painting. A lot of depth. There. Ooh, I see something nice. You know what we ought to do? We got a minute or so left here. Let's have some fun. I always get in trouble right at the end of the show. Let's take a fan brush and fill it full of Van Dyke brown. Put a lot of color, maybe a little dark sienna too. A lot of paint. A lot of paint in there. And maybe in our world there lives, are you brave? This is your bravery test for today. There lives, yep, you guessed it. Big old tree lives right there. Big old tree. But he's a happy tree, so it's all right. Maybe he's got a friend. Comes right down like that. There. I know I'm going to get some letters about this now. Going to get in trouble about this. There we go. Now then, let's take, here's a little titanium white. Pull it out flat, cut across, and let's go up here. Barely touch, just let it barely touch. Maybe this is just a big old birch tree that lives right up here. barely touch. Pull it. Okay, maybe there's a little on the other side too. Just like so. There. See there? Now let's do some on the other side. There. But when you pull this, pull it sort of round. And all you're doing is barely touching the canvas. Don't want to put too much pressure on it. Barely graze it. There. Now then, let's go in here with our, we use the old liner brush, paint thinner, and we'll put in a few limbs on this big old tree here. Maybe there's one right here. Comes right out, right over like that. There. Okay, we'll give him another one there. Wherever you want them. Just wherever you want them. Put a few right in there. Like so. There we go. We don't have to do too many. I'll put a few leaves on here. But just enough so you can see the indication of some here and there. Okay, we can take our brush with a dark color, go back, tap in a few little things like so, and we'll highlight those a little. There. Okay, a little bit of the yellow, and let's come back in here and just put a few highlights on that. Hope you've enjoyed this one. It's a very nice little painting, give you a lot of practice, and it'll make you happy inside. The old clock on the wall tells me that it's time to go. So we'll call it a day. We'll call this one finished. From all of us, happy painting and God bless.